And we are live. EXO is going to be joining us for the live stream. It is Kicking It with Andy Tuesday. So you know what to do. Enter the giveaway, 50% off discount code, plus bullfrogs and kicker swag and t-shirts, the whole nine. Make sure you guys go enter tonight. And if you don't know who EXO Contralto is, you're sleeping under a rock, and you're going to find out a lot about him tonight. Appreciate you guys, but without further ado, let's kick off this intro. I'll see you guys in 3 minutes.
Hey, what's going on, you Tubulus? EXO coming at you. Great. Hey, that's great. Hey, what's going on, you Tubulus? EXO coming at you.
Oops.
What's going on, you Tubulus? EXO coming at you this morning with some various questions I've been getting about the build. These 12-18s, take a look at that, take a look at that. 4-pin relay right in between to do the job.
Remember that old keyboard he used to have?
Wow.
Man, I want to know what he was thinking at that moment right there. Or maybe this one.
Oh, that was only 1 second.
That is crazy, kid. I love it.
They didn't
Wow. I can't even believe this.
That's why I chose Contralto. So that's quite literally what it means. It means bassin everywhere. Bass everywhere.
What? What?
Bassin everywhere, and yes, the subwoofer is flexing, and we can hear EXO in the background. We gotta mute him for a second.
What was that? Dude, I was over here. Like, I have never seen such an amazing mix of good memories, that such a good captured intro. Thank you. So I had a really good time watching that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, man. I hear you in the background, and I was like, you know what? I'm just bringing him on. Thank you, dude. And for the one, the only EXO, I had to do something fancy for you.
Wow. Thank you. I had so much fun. That was, man, I'm seeing my sister dancing in the kitchen, seeing all those great memories. Oh, what a flood of that was really kind of surreal. I did not
Aw.
expect that. Wow.
Thanks, man. I had to do something for you, and absolutely got you going in the background.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't think.
I know. I was like, okay, well, we're gonna talk to everybody, say hello, but I hear you jumping in the background. You know what? Let's just start the show. Thank you for joining me on Kicking It with Andy, Livin Loud with Andy. It's such an honor to have you on here, and you're just an awesome guy, General. And we're just gonna talk about how you got into car audio. And I know a little bit. I mean, I was digging a lot on all the YouTube stuff and learned a lot. I wanted to learn, you know, what EXO really meant. And at the end of that clip, I was like, man, that's awesome. Just because, you know, your name means something, you know, and I love the
it
name.
really does, man. And I just want to stop you real quick. It's a two-way street, man. I appreciate you inviting me on here. So it's you know, we always have great conversations, whether it be at a big show or a smaller show. So it's nice to finally hop on the live since I've seen you so many times doing it. You know, doing the dang thing with all the cool tech you got. I love it.
Yeah, we got a lot in the studio going on here, man. Thank you. It means a lot, you know. It's doing the YouTube stuff. It's different with the live streams, but I do the YouTube shorts and videos. Nothing to your, pedigree, but at the same time, emulate a little bit off of you. You know, you've been foundational for what we do, man. And no, thank you again.
That's what it's all about, man. Finding our own footing and having fun along the way.
Absolutely. I see you're in the living room where that's where your your home theater sound system is.
Yep, just behind me to the left and right are those towers that were just in it was just actually in the latest video, so people probably remember.
Yeah, I was seeing all the little figurines shake. I'm like, oh my god, Kayla would go nuts if I had any other room shaking like that.
Yeah, we watched House of a Thousand Corpses, getting into the Halloween vibe, and like during those really like Rob Zombie moments, all of a sudden the drywall, the sheetrock, the knickknacks, it makes the movie. So I had to like bring the bass down a little bit because it takes you out of the movie. You hear all these things going crazy.
Yeah.
Just from
That's
the bass.
awesome though. You know, I never really got super huge into home audio, but from my understanding, that's what got you into car audio, per se.
Oh, yeah. It started in the living room at, my parents' living room, obviously, or my uncle's, and wherever we were living at that moment, we would commandeer the space for bass.
Yeah, that's it. And I feel like a lot of us, of our generation threw home audio into a car because that's what we knew and that's what was easy and sometimes it worked okay.
Yeah, sometimes it did. Sometimes a lot of times you had to go and take one of your junk t-shirts, plug the port so it actually did something because it ended up like having this crazy havoc in that tiny trunk. The KL, one of my Klipsches did okay, but man, the other ones, they sounded like crap, so I had to end up making them sealed.
I see a lot of people do that on Facebook Marketplace or Bassheads on a Budget, just entry-level people in car audio.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. I've been there. Just friggin' take what you can from the basement and friggin' chuck it in the Chevy Beretta.
Absolutely, and maybe it's just the prefabs are a little bit too small. I don't know. Either way, but we all learn, and I feel like a lot of us have learned car audio with you, and I mean that 100%, man.
Heck yeah, I think I would agree with you, man. It's really because of all the friends that I've been able to keep throughout the years. You end up seeing how talented they've become, and it's like, wow, I remember when you were just. We were all just doing the same, like we were all doing the like we were just saying, doing all those funny things that you do in the beginning, but it really ends up building to something quite amazing if you let it.
Absolutely, and one heck of a hobby to pick too. Just
Brett, what the hell were we thinking? We're doing this for fun, just destroying $40,000 vehicles for fun or more.
Speaking of $40,000 vehicles, how is the Behemoth playing right now? Is it doing okay?
Yeah, she's doing good. I'm working on an episode right now where I'm fixing the side view mirrors because it flexes so badly and it sounds terrible on the side view mirrors. And every time you play a song, you have to readjust it so you can't see behind you. And then I'm going to do some other things with, a battery stop, plugged up a speaker because I launched it at 165 decibels right out of the door panel, like a freaking baboon butt.
That'll do that. That's one thing you don't think about when you build a big build like that. Oh man, I gotta make sure everything's okay.
It's jamming. Yeah, she's doing good. I'm just getting back out on the streets probably tomorrow with her.
That's awesome, man. I mean, to build anything that kind of big is just, I haven't even tackled, like I'm still playing around with one speaker, Solo X18 and Quad Box and L7X12. Those are my 3 main builds. And, I never made that big step where you're talking multiple amplifiers, multiple woofers, and I love all the videos that you do because you're actually showing people, maybe not every single step, but most of the steps, more than a lot of YouTubers show, of how to build something that big. And to be able to see this build, now it's playing, it's going to Slamology, it's going to all these other shows, and now you get to have fun with it. And I think that's the best part of having a system.
Oh, you hit the nail right on the head. Even though like the gap between the start and the finish may be tremendous. Like in my case, it was dang near, I gutted my 618s in 2017 and in anticipation for a big build, and it took until now, 2014, to it actually be completed. And that was because, it's a financial undertaking. Something like this, people underestimate even just getting 2, 3, 4, and now you're talking 12. What the?
Yeah.
That was a decision. I could have been good with 9. I could have been good. You know what I mean?
I know, it's a lot of 18s, man. It's a lot.
I know, but I'm happy. I'm extremely happy, but it is a huge responsibility. A huge responsibility.
Yeah. And it can be expensive whenever you have faults, but you learn the process, and I've learned so much just by watching other people. And on a smaller scale where it's not quite as expensive, but still.
Yeah, but you can't go wrong with a good old Cookie Monster.
No.
Right at the time.
Absolutely, man. And my deal with that was I just never thought I would get a Solo X18. I tried buying one. It was the Recode online. And I just magically got one, just landed in my lap. And I'm like, okay, cool. This thing's awesome, but it needs a new box. It needs a bunch of power. And literally just like the past 7 years of just more power, learning, new boxes, and now it's like, okay, that's done, that's good. Try to keep it as long as the car survives, but still, it's, I'm waiting on that next step, but need a house, just like how you got your new house, and that thing is beautiful.
Oh, boy.
And then big build.
That's what it's all about, man. That's why, unfortunately, people still ask me to this day, so if they're watching now, I'm going to lay it to rest, even though I have before. Or Little Blue couldn't survive the transition to Tennessee. It's like, if I had, think of it, going back and forth freaking 8 million times, busting all those parts, it was a huge money pit. So I decided, what's more important, starting a house with starting a life with a lease, buying a house, or having an extra base build when I already have something that's going to be crazy. So I said, You know what? I'm going for the house. I love base, but I'm keeping my big base build, but I'm going for the house, for sure.
I remember you getting rid of Big Blue or Little Blue, but at the same time, I was kind of like, why? But that makes sense why you're saying that now. And, you got to make your choices. You can't have everything. And
for real, it is bittersweet.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do Cookie Monster. Maybe the Quad Box build, and then all the other ones. Okay, cool. We can replace that, but that one I'll be keeping in a bunker somewhere. Because I feel like it just it really drives me.
You got to do hindsight's 20/20, but to be honest, I needed every penny. So I'm glad I am where I am, and the decisions were maybe I'll get a little red one day, or a little. Little silver, and buy a little Ion on Marketplace. Although everyone wants like $5K for a blown engine.
That was a Saturn Ion with Little Blue. Yeah, that was. I used to have a Saturn too. That's why I was like, oh yeah, Saturn Bros, absolutely. Todd Wolf, I built my wall in Ultima by watching and learning EXO's wall build with the blue Saturn. Little Blue, thank you, EXO. You are the man. I feel like we're skipping on all the comments, but man.
Oh yeah, I can see some at the bottom, but it's wicked close.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you're on the phone. You're doing the best you can. We can hear you. You sound good, and I'll just read out the comments. But absolutely, man. I
definitely.
appreciate.
Thanks for everyone being here. Don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube channel if you're live there too, right?
Oh yeah, we're live on YouTube and Facebook, and yeah, not on TikTok today. I was like, I don't want anything messing up. We got EXO on the show. Too many gears. I'm gonna grind a gear by accident. Question from Mr. El Fuego from the Pacific Northwest. We gotta start throwing these up, man, because these guys.
The Pacific Northwest.
How much does EXO's new build weigh? The Behemoth build. How much does it weigh roughly? Do you think?
11,400 pounds.
11,400 pounds. So that's what, 5, almost 6 tons? That's crazy. And that's street legal, right? You can drive to Walmart?
Well, it depends on who you ask, but it drives really well.
Yeah. I can't. I mean, I seen all the videos that you put together with making it so it could drive well. Because the stock suspension and the stock everything, there's no way.
You're familiar with the Nissan NV platform. And any other 3500 truck, for some reason, it is overbuilt like crazy. Like I have a full-ton dually, a Chevy 3500, and the front end on my Nissan is night and day. Like it's built ridiculously strong.
Wow. And I mean,
I can't believe it.
Hey, I was just going to say, some vehicles are just built stronger than other ones, inherently, and then you just got to make it stronger. But, man, something like that, that's another reason I'm like, man, like I got these Tyan S coils, but they're not, they're not coilovers, it's just a spring. And it does help a little bit with the weight, but, my smaller build, and trailer it, what do you do? And yours, you can literally drive to shows with it. That's...
Oh, yeah, I did upgrade even larger in the rear with the extra spring helper bags, and then the big springs up front from No Sag Springs over there at GP. They hooked me up with the huge, it's like an inch thick, I'm telling you, all the way down. Yeah. It works good.
Jeez. Hey, at least you know the guys too, because with the Behemoth build, you did a lot of like welding and just, to build that wall in that vehicle. That could be a whole live show just talking about this build.
It really could.
It's really incredible.
Could. Yeah, Justin Haddock, he motivated me to buy a welder and learn from scratch. Just like, get how to get a good bead, a strong weld. And even though it took a little while, I learned the skill, and now I'm very comfortable with it.
That's awesome. I think I know one welder, and buddy John, out of all the Johns that I know, John Ickes, he's the one that actually got me in a kicker back in the day. And but he's a good welder, good machinist, and if I would do anything, it'd be between him and Mr. Duffy helping me on the big build. And it's nice to have people like that to help you learn, but then you can also do it yourself, and I feel like that's what we try to do for people on YouTube, is so eventually you can start to learn how to do this stuff on your own.
Yeah, and you have a great way about yourself too, how it's really inviting to listen to, and I think you have a nice cadence to your teaching voice and all that. I like when I've tuned in, at least I really enjoy it.
You tuned in? That's crazy. Thank you, man.
To be honest, it's crazy. People may be surprised, but I don't consume a lot of content, to be honest.
Yeah. And
so, but when I do, I try to do the rounds here and there, but to be honest, I'm kind of behind the scenes, just doing my own thing a lot of time up here on the hill by myself.
Hey, you almost have to, because then if you start watching too much, then you start to like second guess yourself or whatever. Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest. Yeah, dude, that's really astute. That's very true.
And that's why I try to stay involved with as much as I can, but at the same time, right, exactly that. And I just appreciate you just not stopping, because there's a lot of YouTubers that have been doing stuff as long as you have, and like the type of content kind of just went downhill, or they just stopped altogether. And you still put out that video that I can literally turn on in my living room. Sometimes we'll watch Big D Williston videos or something like that, but there's some channels channels that I'm not going to put on where my wife's going to be sitting there, the kids are going to be sitting there. Like, I know it's going to be good, solid content. There's no swearing, and it's just car audio, and it's actually fun to watch. And I love that style that you do, and it's not always the same either. It's all over the place.
I appreciate that. I take that as a real big compliment, and a family man like you is really what helped me help better myself. I see it as bettering myself because I was actually approached by a family man at a show and let me know how much he appreciated that I stopped swearing, and that now he includes his younger children on a lot of my videos. And I was like, oh my word, watching a lot of my old stuff, I didn't even realize how bad of a dude I was saying crazy stuff. But then when like adpocalypse happened and YouTube was a little more stringent on their regulations, it not only did that help me, encourage me to clean up my mouth, but that guy and people like you, a nice family man, really helped motivate me to do the same.
Absolutely, man. And right, just because it's like it makes you seem more professional. Not that you aren't, but still, right. You know, I'm like going through some of the old ones. I'm like, all right, we're going to cut this out. And that's how I am too on all my older stuff. In like 2016, I'm like, man, I used to drop the F-bomb a lot, you know, because I'm just, you know, you live and you learn. But no, it's awesome stuff to watch. And no, I appreciate you being here tonight. And you guys, if you didn't know already, enter the giveaway, kicker.com/umweekly. We give away a lot of prizes every other Tuesday on this show. And of course, you already know about the Unmasked show. That was awesome seeing you on there. And that was just a great time. The first Unmasked, that 5-hour live stream you guys did.
That was crazy.
I was just going to say, what was like your experience with all that? Because I know with like Kicker, you know, it's almost been not a staple in your YouTube, but like in the beginning, that was like the first video you had on the main channel.
Heck yeah. Dude, I will always and forever have a soft spot for Kicker, Alpine, Soundstream, Pioneer, all the brands that I started looking at, like Sanford Sound, my local shop that they carried, all of those brands. I just have a soft spot for them because my CBRs, man, I loved my CBRs. Like, do you know, I thought I was the best thing since sliced bread with 2 Kicker CBRs in Saco, Maine. You know what I mean? Yeah. And little did I know, but that's why, like, you know, when they invited me onto the Unmasked all those years later, it's full circle, man. To be included on that, I felt like, holy,
would you look at that?
This is crazy to be even near these conversations.
Right, and I just got distracted because you can't see it here. Double E is gifted a membership. Was it 1 membership? And the subwoofer literally flexes when they give super chats or any kind of donations. So thank you, Double E.
Hey, dude.
Appreciate you, man. And thank you for gifting the membership to the Green Team.
Green Team.
Appreciate you for that. That's the guy there. He's tuning in from the other side of the world. He's actually in the future.
Right there. He's doing it up. He's got it on a switch or something. That's cool.
Yeah, it's, you know, I wanted it to have just flex during the show, and I'm like, you know what, let me see what else I can do. If I can have it trigger for certain things, I'm like, dude, why not any kind of donation? And it's literally on a little amplifier and power supply in here. But yeah, that's the L7. If I could put the L7X.
Look, that's going the extra mile, making a nice little addition to the what's that called? Like a set.
Oh, the studio. Yeah,
studio. Yeah, sorry.
Yes. That's what's crazy about all this. Whenever I first got into doing the YouTube, I didn't think I was going to be a live streamer. I didn't think I was going to have this, you know, crazy just get up. But just by doing it over and over the years, and the guys tuning in, just like your supporters that have been following you since day one, they made it happen. So I thank them for that and for this moment that I get to share with you tonight, man. This is crazy.
Heck yeah, man! I'm glad. I'm right back at you, and it looks like you had a good stream. I keep it's so sometimes I can't see who it's saying, but I'm seeing people. That's great. I'm glad. Yeah, hey, everybody.
Yeah, we got 66. We were up to 70 there. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's just on YouTube too. I don't know how many we got on Facebook. I know we got a few here and there, but appreciate you guys just being here with me tonight. Does EXO have a soft spot for Mickey Mouse still? Oh. Let me find out.
Yeah, I do. And on that, it's that because I had a Mickey Mouse tent as well, and the plastic. I'm telling you that that early '90s plastic. It was good on the brain. It did the body good.
Can't. With just everything that you do with YouTube, what other things? I know you do the RC stuff. What else do you do that's like kind of like your side hobby?
Oh man, I have buyer's remorse with that RC stuff, man. I went a little overboard with that.
Uh-oh.
I haven't even pulled the trigger on one of those controllers in a dog's age. But I guess yes, RC cars. I got into that for some reason, and then man, to be honest, shit, I build computers to edit.
Nice. I mean, you want something that can render stuff quickly. You're not sitting there forever waiting it for optimization of the videos and whatever have you. What kind of computer do you have? Because I know you got a pretty decent setup there. What do you got?
I do AMD processors, and I got a believe it or not, the 4090, and just an MSI motherboard. It's that really nice. It's like a gamer one, but it has really good heat sinks on it. I got a thermal take case or a thermal something case. It just has it has a bunch of Noctua fans, but just something that can beast render, you know.
You had me at 4090. I got a little 6650.
Oh yeah,
XT,
GPU render all the way. I use GPU rendering all day long.
That's what we use now for the streaming. That's why I left StreamYard, so that I can use the GPU to render the stream and use the CPU to throw up all the other fancy stuff and giveaways and videos and what have you. And that's awesome. Real quick, do you play any video games? Because I know I can't have any time to play video games with the YouTube stuff. Do you find any time to do it with that nice graphics card?
You're gonna punch me. I have never once played a computer video game in my entire life. But I have played a console video game, but I go through periods where I won't play for like 2 years, and then I'll play for a week, you know?
Yeah, that's how it is with me, and it's like whenever you do pick it up, you can't put it down. It's like terrible.
Yes.
Let's see, Jeremy Sheepdog, I am in love with your build PCs. That is awesome. Thank you for tuning in, Sheepdog. And, these guys that tuned into the show tonight and always tune in here, they actually built my computer. They are awesome. SJC, John, and the gang here. Appreciate you throwing up the comments. John, did you have any questions queued up for Mr. EXO over here? See if we got anything else while we're, in the middle of a conversation. Next to the next one. What does EXO's name stand for again? Well, you might as well just give them the whole representation of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I started the YouTube channel with PWR audio. No one knew what that meant. It meant hour audio, but that was terrible. So I rebranded with EXO Contralto. EXO meaning exo, outside, external, like an exoskeleton outside. And then Contralto is very, very low, but with the extra connotation, the extra little connotation of a female singing voice. So it's not like a male low, it's female low. And I don't know if you're like me, my PCs, my RC cars, my base vehicles, they're all girls. I always say, like, she's looking pretty good today. She's doing all right. I broke the living daylights out of her. And so all my things are girls, so that's why I'm EXO Contralto, bass everywhere with my rig, with my bass, my ladies.
I like it where it's like, because it's always like you're calling a car a girl. It's never usually a guy's name, I got names for like my scooters, cherry and strawberry. It's over fruits. Maybe I'm just a fruitcake, but I like how you do that, like with the EXO and then the female lower voice. And is that below 40 hertz?
To be honest, I'm not sure what the like the actual number cutoff would be. I just know that it, as a female goes, it doesn't get any lower.
I get what you're saying with that. Like, it's just the different. Yeah. So it's probably definitely wasted information in that degree.
You could say that on this podcast.
Absolutely. Speaking of wasted information, I love Kyle's new build, and whenever I first seen you this year at Slamology, you were checking it out. You were looking at it, just like you are right now.
Hey, I can see one. I see that.
Can you see it? Can you see
It's
it?
that
Does
skateboard.
EXO? Yep. Do you still skate?
You better believe it. I can still throw down with some of the best of them.
Heck yeah. You know, I never did the skateboarding. Like, I can ride and turn. I never did the tricks. I was more of a rollerblader. Like, I'd be hitting half pipes and stuff, you know. I don't know about now. It's been a while.
And
Don't
I
wanna break my
exaggerate,
leg.
of course. I'm just kidding. There's professionals nowadays that are insane, but I wanted to go pro. That's what my life goal was, and shit,
Wow.
I thought I was going to at one point.
That's crazy. And, you know, to switch gears and you still became, you know, I would say successful, and you didn't even do the skateboarding thing, and that's where you thought your path was. And that's the craziest thing about what we all do nowadays. You never really know what's going to happen, and then it just kind of happens, you know. And whenever you do something like you do, and it's out of passion for bass and car audio, you know, it's easy. It's easy. CAE, thank you for the $1 super chat. William, this guy, love ya. $5 super chat, man. Welcome to Kicking It with Andy, Kicker Unmasked live from the Kicker Cave. Thanks for being here, EXO. Andy knows you just gotta look at it. And we got something for you. I found this in the vault of EXO.
Oh, would you look at that? Another freaking, a solo barrack?
Would you look at that?
Look at that.
And in that video too, I have a few other things too queued up to talk about. And you know, it's just crazy how long you've been doing YouTube, and there's just so much stuff from back in the day of, you know, just going out vlogging, getting demos, and then doing what you do now, which is more of like I would say a full course meal of a video. And
Yeah.
it's nuts.
Yeah, definitely. It's transformed.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? I like it. I honestly like it, and I feel like between you and just all the larger YouTubers that are in car audio, they already got their platform, they know what they're doing, and we know what to expect whenever we come to the dinner plate. You know, it's just like, okay, boom, look at that. Sometimes you get a lot of, you know, fast food, and I'm okay on the fast food. You get kind of sick of it after a while. I like the
hear
full
ya.
course. But no, awesome stuff, man. Thank you, William. Again, man, these guys are just coming in here. Car audio enthusiasts with another $5 super chat, but we actually do.
Oh, hey,
look at it.
Trucker 9000. That's car audio enthusiast. That's what I keep thinking of him as. That he's a great guy. We actually met at the was it the GP event? Yeah, GP. They freaking were great over there. They're so
GP.
nice. Everyone
I
who
remember
lived
whenever
there.
you had. Yeah, I remember when you had those subs in your car, the GP subs. Do you still run those?
Yeah, they're still. Oh yeah, those are still in there. G2. Yes.
G2. That's it. Okay.
Yes, they're
sorry.
still in there.
Nice. And thank you, CAE. And wow, that's crazy. So Trucker 9000. See, now that name sounds
I can't
familiar.
get it out of my mind. That's his new thing though, so I shouldn't say that. But I still can't get it out of my mind. It's like
That's how it is. Like whenever I talk to these guys, even on the Discord, I'm still calling Cornut, even though I know his name is Corey. But it's like his YouTube name. It's just it's embedded into your brain, and yeah. That's crazy. The more you know. But yes, thank you, CAE. And then we got David Koslick, man. He is dropping a $20 super chat. Do not forget to hit the like, and we gotta throw up Dave.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the like. You gotta hit the like. Love 'em. It's real easy. That thing that goes like this.
I don't care what you say
That's
about
it.
kickers.
That's it.
This guy is a difference maker.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you for that. And man, this guy is literally always just telling us to just hit the like. Hit the like and just, yeah, that's it. Oh, now we got, man, they're just flooding in at, oh man, we got Adam.
This is great. I'm so happy.
Hey, man, you know, doing this stuff, it's like, you know, it pays off with just the time invested. And I know how it is with you on your end, where it's like you are just dedicating hours, weekends, lost dinners, lost, you know, memories of what you could do for the content. But, you know, these guys just in the car audio community make it so we can keep doing this stuff and enjoy what we do at the same time, because it's hard to find that balance of I'm enjoying the hobby and I'm also creating content.
Yeah, it can be a gray area because you want it to be enjoyable, but at the same time, you want to be able to like get stuff done, and
Yeah.
it's like a balance. I have a extremely hard time with that balancing act, more so on the end of like making it way harder on myself every single time. But I'm
Same.
getting better. I'm starting to pump out quicker. I'm getting better.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the finessing and the balancing. I know Kayla's like she literally said that to me over like the last few days. You're working too hard. You're doing too much. You're doing
Yeah,
too
you're
much.
doing too much. That's what. Yeah, that exactly. I get the same thing, dude. Just make it easier. Just cut that out. Don't build it like that. No, too stubborn.
It's gotta be perfect. It's gotta be the way I want it to be. Otherwise, not satisfied. But no, you do great. And Adam, thank you for your $10 super chat, and appreciate all you guys, man. We had 70 still in here.
What's up, Wade?
Wade Hensley, awesome guy. He's actually helping me out moderate Kicker Club, and he's been taking care of a lot of the requests because we literally almost 1,000 members like every 2 weeks or so. Like, it's kind of crazy, and it fluctuates. We're up to almost 65,000 members. I needed help on that between YouTube work and everything else. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about work with Showtime because you got a hold of, like, you working with Showtime was the first time I ever heard about Showtime. And then
Oh wow.
I recently, last year, got hooked up with Remy and Showtime. How
Okay.
did you get hooked up with them, and what do you do? What do you do at Showtime?
Well, believe it or not, I've known about Showtime way back when, Edward Lester, right?
Yes, Sparked.
Sparked. Well, Sparked was Showtime SPL.
Right.
And you remember, like, he had the glasses, and he would bring
Yeah.
Edwin T. Socket
Yeah.
out. His channel and his whole, I guess you would say, brand was Showtime SPL. He started it in hopes to bolster the retail site, and so that was, man, we got introduced back in 2009, back in 2009.
Yeah. Wow.
So, and then I believe it or not, we got introduced through a video of kind of like shit talking, and then we became best friends, kind of. Well, it took like a year, but we became great friends. And then fast forward 15 years, now he has his own company, and I work over at Showtime. Well, I don't work there. I'm like an ambassador representative. I do, what I can over here for them. And they're like my exclusive little online store that I tell people about. And it's just so crazy how it came back like that. My good friend, Edward, and then his Rich Tornetta, all about Rich.
Yes,
It's crazy
yeah.
how it came back full circle like that 15 years later.
Wow. See, now I just learned. I didn't realize that everybody was intertwined. Like, everybody is intertwined in that little area there.
I did not know that either. It's so funny. I didn't know that coming into it. I'm like, holy crap! Let's all be friends.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. And everybody at Showtime. I mean, I first got introduced because of Remy, with excess power side of things and just whatever. And you and Remy doing a lot of stuff on the L7X products. Man, the L7X. Would you look at it? I know whatever, you got one, you were testing it, and you were having a lot of fun. And do you think, I know you got the Behemoth build, you got all this other stuff going on, do you think that you would ever have an L7X build in the future just because of what they do and bring to the table?
I don't ever put anything. What's that word? I don't ever say never. That's what I'm saying. So
Good point.
I would love to be honest, I would love to. What was it? One thing I was so looking forward to, it had to do with Kicker. Oh man. Oh yeah. The new, are they coming out? I just don't know this. Are you allowed to say anything about this?
Kind of, sort of.
Are there larger war horses? I heard there's new war horse amps. I was curious if there's going to be even larger ones. I don't know if you're allowed to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, they're always, like you said, never say never. They're never going to not listen to what the customer base wants. And right, I mean, that's kind of a wink there,
Yeah, so I think it was the 38, right? The 3800 right now.
Yeah, they got the 36, it actually
36.
does 5K, and then we got the old one sitting over here, the 10K. That would be nice if they brought that one back, but
Yeah.
maybe
Maybe something like it.
because I feel like a lot of people, they like to just run a 10K because they say they got a 10K, or it just makes them sleep better at night either way.
Yep. Hey, guess what? I do have Kicker in the Behemoth build.
What? I didn't even see it. I stopped at your build and I didn't even see it. Where was it?
It's their low profile mini ANL fuse holders.
Hey, you know what? Long as it's something, and those fuse holders are nice. They got the direct input, and they're just, they're very nice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I searched around. I ordered like 3 different ones because I was so limited on space. And you wouldn't believe how many housings have such a useless gap. And Kicker kept it nice and small, and I bought it.
No, that's awesome, man. And they do make, right, it's just kind of like it fit your need, and I feel like that comes to a lot of people's builds where it's like they're trying to stay all one brand, but you don't technically have to, and sometimes you might find yourself using something else because it works out for whatever you're using. And yeah, man, I know you got a lot of stuff in that build with just DSPs and just a bunch of amplifiers, and just now you got high output alternators on the way, because I remember you just had the one at Slam charging that whole system all day. That poor alternator. It
really was a terrible time. I apologize to anyone again who was there waiting. It's I feel very guilty. But I was going to hit up Ross Wismore from Overkill. Is it Overload or Overkill? I always forget.
But he lives out in Ohio. I think he lives out in
Jonathan
Ohio.
Patrick.
Yep.
Jonathan Patrick reminded me on one of my comment posts, and I wanted to hit him up for a possible bracket because I've always loved that guy. He's so talented.
Oh yeah, I met him at a local show out here in Pittsburgh. A few times. He used to come out to Mecca all the time, and he had just that Jeep Cherokee or whatever, just built out and just windy as all get out. And yeah, them Ohio guys are pretty loud. They're
has
secretly
a gift.
our
he
competition.
He can kind of just see stuff, and he can just make it. He's
Just
got
do
a gift
stuff.
for that. Yeah,
that's awesome. And right, whenever you're doing like multiple alternators for something that big, because you got about 480 amp hours Yinlong excess power cells in.
Yinlong's that 800 amp hour. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy to charge on one alternator. You're talking 3-4 hours.
And the chemistry of that particular bank, it's really not sucking up all that you would think. I got that 370 or whatever that benched well above what it's supposed to, but my bank with the ESR, it's only taken like 150 amps at 300,000 RPMs. At 300,000.
Yeah, still. And that's the thing too, efficiency of the alternator to the battery and the battery chemistry and how many you got, all the bus bars.
Yeah, she ain't sucking it up. I want it to. I want it to suck up more, dang it. It's like, give me some of that,
What are you charging at? What do you have your charge set point at?
Like I got 16? One of them MechMan plugs on a DC power alternator that brings me up a full half a volt from 14.8 to 15 point, whatever that would be, like 4.
You know what you could look into is one of those regulation or voltage potentiometer kind of things that they got where you can add that into it. I'm not sure about the MechMen one. I know what you're talking about with that plug you plug in there and it just bumps it up. I don't know if that's just a diode or how that works, but they got other ones.
I wonder if that would work with the internal reg. I know that I wanted to do something like that with the VCM, but I never ended up doing it.
Yeah, because I feel like especially whenever you're trying to get more charge, it's like, man, just set that thing to 16 because your batteries are going to take a while to get up to even see 15.
Yeah, you better believe it. Holy crap. Freaking 45 minutes later, I'm looking at my watch like, what the hell? Sorry, guys. See you later.
I know. You had people camping out, man. All they needed was a sleeping bag.
I know. I had the only apology I could offer was some spare swag I had laying around here. Take this for free. I'm sorry.
Yeah, speaking of swag, I need an EXO t-shirt. Where's the link? Where's the link?
Dude, I know. I need to mark this moment in time because I am so bad. I have never, to this day, had merchandise ever. Showtime made a bass knob by accident, but I was like, what the hell is this? I walked into one day and I'm like, what the hell are those? And we put an end to that because I didn't really want to do that. but I've never done any merch, not a single time. So I will do it eventually. 15 years in the making.
I mean, hey, I'm happy I brought it up because I was like thinking, I was like, man, I should have picked up some EXO merch. I'd be able to put something right here on my little shelf over here. And I'm like, looking, I'm like, I don't see anything. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just so self-conscious. I get so scared, and like I get kind of self-conscious about it.
Hey, it happens, man. You know, we're both introverts, and you know, it's crazy.
Me,
what
I'm
we're
like
doing.
terrible.
Yeah.
You are kind of that same way. When we had that conversation, I was surprised to have such similarities in that.
I know, man. It's always a blast running into you and actually, you know, talking to you one-on-one without 500 people around. And no, you're an awesome guy, and I'm glad that you're on here tonight, you know, just because, like, for everything that I put into the show, to have you on here and know who you are. Like, I only bring on certain people. Like, I'm usually by myself, and I mean, you're an awesome individual. And no, man, absolutely, we do have a few similarities for sure. My dad loves watching you too. He's like, oh yeah, that guy, that EXO guy, you know.
Oh,
so,
wow. Is he
yeah,
like kindred spirits in the sense of bass, or is he just like your biggest fan?
no, he could just tell by your voice, you know, because I'd be playing one of your videos or something. He goes, is that guy?
No. I mean, like, is he into what you're into? The bass?
Well, you know, kind of, sort of, yeah. I mean, he will sit in Cookie Monster and get a full demo. He doesn't tap out or anything like that, and you know, he's pretty involved as much as he can be. I did install him a kicker system at one time in his car, but then eventually that car got totaled, and now he's got a brand new car with a JBL stock Premier system, so it's okay for now. But right, I mean, he does like a little bit of bass, you know.
Well, it's nice to still, you know, he's rooting for you. That's nice.
Absolutely, man. You know, and it's great to have parents like I do, and my family, interior, exterior, blessed for sure. But you know what? We all have our struggles, and just appreciate for today. Man, we got so many comments there. I got them just flying up right now just because you guys are awesome. You guys are tuned in. And we had some more super chats. I got to throw up. Adam threw up a $10 earlier and a $20. Man, Brody Man used his money to send you. What's up, guys? I'm a huge fan. You know Brody Man, right?
Oh, Brody Man. He's that little whippersnapper. Him and his dad go to all sorts of shows, and he's coming into his own, and it's great.
They are awesome, man. Literally, like you said, traveling to all these shows, just having a good time, and talk about raising your kids right into the car audio scene, and just, here you go. This is what you got looking forward to in the future, forever. That's awesome. Thank you, Adam, and thank you, little Brody Man. Appreciate you, and I will have to get you on one of the intros here. You know, I try to get footage every year at Slamology of people getting a Cookie Monster. I don't know if a GoPro would survive in the Behemoth, but I think you should do that too. Literally just have a GoPro just running the whole time.
I tried, and it starts like this, and then it
yeah.
And so I have to keep kicking it up, and so I get like 10-15 seconds out of it, and then I gotta push it up.
Well, maybe you could like weld something to the window. I know you're pretty good at welding. Maybe you could just, you know.
Yeah, so I'll definitely figure that out. But a lot of the time you forget that the GoPro's there. So half the time I'm getting in your car, I don't even remember because I watched the video. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know. I fucking forgot all about that. I don't even. It's because you weren't holding the camera, so you end up kind of just like falling into the. It's more candid. You know what I mean?
Right. It's not like, you know, a camera's watching you. It's different. Yeah. It's different. But no, that's why I just kind of let it roll, and it's like, yeah, okay, it's cool, it's there, and we'll cut what we need to. But right, that's why a lot of things in life I try to like not even pull up my phone. It's like, I'm just gonna visually remember this because you get to enjoy it more. You know,
yep.
Giving demos,
I hear you.
Family, whatever have you. John says, I have a solution for the GoPro. Hit me up later. This is John. This is the guy in the background here helping us out. Throw up some comments tonight, and awesome guy. And if you ever need 3D printing, let him know too. He's an awesome guy at that. El Fuego question: EXO's first sub and amp. You know, I think because with the Jensen, that video, that was the first one that I've ever seen.
Yep.
What did you have? Did you have something before that?
That would technically be my first sub, because I would always just be living vicariously through whoever had the equipment around me. But like Walmart carried those, And so I would call that my first sub because it was mine. I could do whatever I wanted with it. It wasn't my dad's. It wasn't my uncle's. It wasn't my sister's. Believe it or not, my sister had a sealed wedge. Both of them had sealed wedges. So,
oh wow,
which was kind of cool.
That's awesome. And my first sub wasn't a Jensen, but it was a Lightning Audio. But my first amplifier was a Jensen. So that's pretty cool.
Was it? Hey, was it the Jensen with the VU meter?
No, not that old.
Okay.
Whenever Target used to sell car audio, whenever Target,
the blue one, Jensen lights.
It wasn't one of those. I do have one of those. It was it looked like an old Kicker like KX with the fans on it or something like that, but it was just black and a blue Jensen bubble in the middle, 325 watt. That's all it was, nothing fancy.
Okay.
And Lightning Audio 10, and then of course I just put it on the top of the back seat, because it was magnetized to the top. I didn't have a box for it or anything, and it's like, oh yeah, this is great. And then you just started from there. Okay, we got to buy the box at Walmart that you have to put together, and okay, here's an amplifier. How does this work? And going to Radio Shack, trying to get help at Radio Shack, and it just started from there. And I remember watching a few of your videos because I've been sitting here just trying to learn everything about you, man. And I mean, it's just with your dad's MTX subwoofers, that was the first time experiencing like bass, car audio bass.
The bass, yeah, because my neighbors they were high schoolers and they would drive by so I could hear the trunk. I knew trunk bass existed, but I was so young, I could never get them to stop at my house, or I could never go to their high school and hear it. So when my dad finally got the red Jeep and we put in that MTX Blue Thunder, that was my first introduction to 12-volt audio. So it was so much louder. For some reason, home audio had way more cabinet space, a driver size, but all of a sudden, my dad's Jeep was doing this with a 10. I was astounded, and I wanted to know more. I wanted, why was it so loud over here? And I started fucking around with shit. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, you're good.
I'm
John,
sorry.
bleep it quick. No, you're good.
Bleep it.
Well, we be sharting on them sometimes. They slip out, and no, that's the craziest thing too. Because with home audio, you would have it in your room, and then you take it to the car and tap it into your 6x9s. You're like, oh wow. Yeah, we got some extra bass in the trunk now. I did that with my mom's car. She was kind of mad in the beginning. It's like, yep, okay, we're doing that, and that's how you learn. But right, man, we all have that intro to just bass, and I feel like it all started with something with home audio. Like I started with boom boxes. My dad would always listen to music. Like every time he cleaned the house, which almost every day, blasting the stereo. So I got introduced into loud music, in the beginning. And same thing with your dad. And that's awesome to hear, man. It really is. Every time I get a super chat, your little screen drops down, and then the subwoofer starts flexing. That's the only thing I didn't test for on here, but it does pop away, goes away after a second. I'm just glad everything's working tonight. Appreciate you, CA. Man, we got a lot more super chats, but I'm trying to have the conversation here too. It's so hard. EXO, I'm glad you don't do lives all the time. You would be like, I don't know which way to look. Oh no.
Yeah, I've done them 3 times ever. I would like to do it more because it is kind of fun. It's different because I'm better on my feet sometimes than pre-planned,
Right. Yeah, I mean, you have some kind of plan, but it's not really a plan, and then it's just,
exactly.
No, you do good, man. You do good. I know. I think I tuned into one of your live streams before. You were sitting by the truck or something like that, working on something. But you were sitting there answering questions and stuff. You did great. El Fuego, I had this one up. Absolutely, man. I had this one up earlier. Thanks for all the content. Livin Loud with Andy and EXO. Both of you are inspirations to the community, and I need that Friday song on Tuesday. He wants the Friday song. Do I have the Friday song on here? I don't have it. I don't. You know what? If I do, let me make sure. I'm going to have to do something fancy to do it because I don't have it logged up. I'm going to have to drop EXO for half split second because El Fuego wants the Friday. I see. I can't. EXO's just dancing in the background over there. Ah. Thank you, El Fuego. And that Friday song is catchy, huh?
Man, you can't go wrong with a classic at this point. That's been out for friggin', was that like 2012? That was a while ago.
I know, I didn't even hear that song when it came out, and Kayla started playing that on her phone, and I'm like, what is that? What is that? What is that video? What is that song? I need that. I need that. She's like, oh yeah, it's an old song. So that's good old Kayla helping me out, and she helps me out on a lot of things, watching the kids, and even with the car audio stuff here and there. I know your wife. She obviously helps out and supports you. How's she doing tonight?
Oh, she's the biggest blessing to me. I love her, but she's not feeling well tonight. She went to bed at like 6.
I'm happy that I made it here tonight, literally Sunday during the Steeler game and Monday. I had to call off Monday, so no live stream Friday. I have to work Friday. I've just got over a cold literally by 4 o'clock today. I'm like, oh man, like I got my Kleenex box sitting here, nasal spray, energy drink. I don't drink these before show or during, and I'm like, I gotta get through. And yeah, it's just that time of year, man. I hope she feels better.
I'm glad you're feeling all right enough to. You made it happen, at least, didn't you?
I couldn't. I was like, after all this work, now I get sick? Are you kidding me? No way. But yeah, that's good to hear. And man, you guys are awesome. I love seeing her in the videos too. Whenever she does pop in there, it's like, oh, look at that. She's in there.
Yeah, I absolutely. I love her so much. We're having our 9-year anniversary in 6 or 7 days.
Woo! Well, congratulations ahead of time, and time flies, huh?
It sure does. Thank you. It does.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And it makes it almost a little bit easier, because it's like, you get to love the bass, but then you also got someone that loves you too, and it's not gonna, blow the coil, She'll survive. That's awesome. Mike DePoli with another $10 super chat, and we got to throw up the Tuesday one, because that's what I got. Hold up here.
This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
Did you see that in the movie? The flux capacitor there? He's like, what? Boss. Mike, thank you, man. Hey, Kicking It crew, shout out to EXO. You were the first car audio YouTuber I started watching back in 2012. Appreciate all the content and look forward to more. Mike, he's an awesome guy. And actually local to me, too. Whenever I did my first car audio competition, I actually went up against him. He almost beat me. But I did win, and he's got a grudge forever, but he is an awesome friend of mine.
Grudge forever.
Yeah. And he's like, oh wait, he's got an 18-inch solo X. This is when I had on a prefab, lead acid in the back. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I was trying. I was having fun. And thank you for being here tonight, Mike, and appreciate all that you do. And we got one more CAE again, Trucker 9000, right?
So, oh man, coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
What a guy.
I love his channel too, man. And there's a lot of new YouTubers like coming out and putting out content, and it's kind of crazy. Do you think with what you do now, of like, does it, by seeing other people do stuff, do you think it changes how you do things, or what future stuff do you think that you would change or keep the same with what you're doing just by seeing what other people do?
With what I'm doing, to be honest, I don't know if you have. Oh wow! Woo!
Yeah, that's flexing.
Since the very beginning, if you go back to my very beginning, all the videos were always very well edited and little projects. They were all little projects. They were all very, very, and very, very, very purposeful. So like what I'm doing now is what I've always wanted to be able to do, which is like make something that has watchability, and that maybe you could watch it a second time even, or that's fun. So I don't think I really want to change much, because I don't want, because I'm so happy with what I've been able to create.
Yes. And I feel like you hit the nail on the head. It's sometimes like I do change things because me myself is still with the live streams. Like, yeah, I don't change that too much, but like with the video format, because I really haven't truly found like a 100% way to go. Like there is like a Andy way, but it's still like it depends what I'm doing. And, you know, you kind of do brush on things to make them better, but you don't just throw things away because once you got a form, you like it. I noticed with your older videos, it's like you almost have the same font from like 10 years ago, and I love it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, it's very true. Like, I want to say that the style or like the very episodic style that I've been doing has been since 2016. And then before that, it was still very, very, I would say like professionally delivered, but I hadn't quite found how to combine everything all into one. It was more spread out, but now I try to combine it. So I'm not like, maybe I should start spreading it out because a lot of people want to see more such stuff more often, but now I'll finish something before putting it out. Like before I would make a door panel video, maybe 2 or 3 parts, but now I'll just make it one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. You kind of like trim it down. It's like, man, I want that, but I know people aren't going to want to watch it, and you know, it's okay, you know. And I am on your Patreon for $1. Do you put any other like video stuff more so on the higher tier?
To be honest, I've been so bad about that. I need to go I need to go on there more often because it's really become it's always really been just a supplement to make better videos. It's always been to make better, higher quality. Because you know how editing is. To put that amount of time sometimes it doesn't make sense. But with the Patreon, I'll put in more time than I probably should. You know what I mean? But I would like to do more. Maybe even I could do live streams there since it's a little more personable. And I would like to maybe ask your advice on how to see the live comments. Maybe we could talk about that after this to incorporate that onto that so it could help. That could be kind of cool. I would like to do that.
Hey, I'm your guy, man. Absolutely. And I think that's a good idea.
A good handle on it, so I think that could be a kind of a cool perk.
Absolutely, dude. Hey, anything to help you out, man. That's awesome. That's awesome that you want to do that because the Patreon way is cool because these guys are just supporting us like a monthly subscription and they can be able to get a one-on-one and it'll be nice too, like you said, with the personal because you're going to have like maybe like 30 people, 40 people tuned in rather than how many do you got? 500 or 659,000? I had to write that down because there's no way I was going to remember that. Subscribers. That's just incredible, man.
That is very surreal. I never really thought it would. I never thought that would happen. Oh, freaking smokes, for real. Yeah. I really am so thankful, and at the same time, like scared shitless, like because that's where I feel like the pressure, to put out something that's worthwhile. Like I don't want to just keep pumping out stuff because I really respect my audience. I really respect their time so much.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear because it's just like, you know, you're a genuine person, and we can feel that through the videos and stuff. And there's so many other things that I can mention. I'm gonna watch this later. I'm gonna be like, oh, why didn't you say that, Andy? But you just do a great job, man.
Yeah, me too.
You do great. Cameron Cole, I gotta throw this up, man. This guy, his build I just featured on Kicker Club for Build of the Week, man. Thank you for tuning in. You guys have awesome stories. Love hearing how people are first exposed to car audio obsession. Mine was EXO in 2012. And I would say that's around the time I was starting to watch it, like 2010, 2011, give or take, you know? Okay. And it's like, I had YouTube. I might have seen your videos before, but by the time it clicked, it's like, okay, yeah, I remember this video. I remember this video. And it's crazy that you've been doing it as long as you have. And I know you said you had a few other YouTube channels, and then you got EXO a big deal. Was it just because everything with, you know, the main one going so good, there's no point to run to?
Well, yeah, I started the second one, like, with the car audio stuff. Because I was trying to make it on a game show. And then I was like, I'll post the spare. Like, I was trying to get on Deal or No Deal. That's why it's called A Big Deal. So.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I didn't make it onto the game show because I was too vulgar. So that didn't work out. So I just started posting spare car audio clips on there that that didn't make the cut, like that weren't like necessarily like.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like not a part of the big edits, but to be honest, it snowballed, and then I started focusing way too much attention on it, and then my main channel, at one point, I was within like 20,000 subscribers of each other.
Wow.
Of my second to main, and I was like, man, I gotta focus on my main channel because I need to really start like building that up, and so I kind of just started that. I guess I want to go back on there sometimes, but man, I'm telling you, I've been MIA from online. Like I have a hard time on Facebook and like certain platforms. I get a lot of stress being online nowadays, and like I'm
it's tough.
Yeah,
it's
like
tough, man.
I know I can't sleep either. I want to do my own thing and have fun.
I know it's hard. Well, we decided to go down this path. Now we got to keep walking down it.
I know.
We gotta deal. I know. Ever since I started doing this stuff, it's like I can't sleep at night. You know, it's bad.
I sometimes the stress sometimes can really get you, and people really have. I'm sure they have an idea, but I don't talk about it ever about the stresses and the drama. But I just, I love car audio too much to let it spoil, and so I just try to keep my eyes on the prize and just be positive for real.
Absolutely. I just keep on plugging away, man. And now that you got such a foundation, as in like you got your house, you got a huge garage, you got the Behemoth build running, now you can start to stretch your legs a little bit more, even more with the video stuff, alongside with everything else that you're already doing. What is the next video coming out next week, 2 weeks from now? Because I know you do like usually once a month at the minimum kind of deal.
Yeah, I'm trying to do more than that, but damn, man, maybe I'm not good at editing. I can do it, but maybe my methods are too slow. I've never seen someone else edit, but I'm trying. The next one's gonna be, fixing the parts that need to be fixed on the Behemoth, which is a battery stop, a side view mirror, and a speaker plug. So, because I blew up my mids from the bass, and then I'm also gonna head down. Oh, dude, this is perfect. Why didn't I mention this before? Holy crap! Guess what, Remy?
Yeah.
Our buddy Remy took the 12-inch kicker out, and guess what we put in?
Oh no! What?
A 15.
Oh,
so
he's trying to get louder.
Yeah, so
he's
we
trying
actually
to get
gained.
Louder.
Yeah, we gained like 2.5 dB by swapping out from the solo 12 to the 15, and so we're gonna make a little video about the. It's actually a prefab box. Box. Can you believe it? It was awesome.
Wow. That's awesome. I do like the L7X products. I mean, I couldn't wait for it. But at the same time, man, 12 to a 15, it's going to be a jump. I remember he was doing like, 142, 144s with the single 12 back there. And I think your channel was one of the first where it was on, too. Like, fully edited video, you and Remy looking at it and unboxing it. And, now he's upgrading to a 15. I love Remy. He does good on camera. He does good.
Yeah, he does. I get a kick out of him. We work well together, so we're gonna chuck that up. Just a quick little swaparoo, and it was good for about 2.5 dB at 42 hertz.
Woo! That ain't bad at all. And no prefab, like you said. I just got a 50 membership. Wait, gifted 50 memberships to the viewers. I don't even have the 50 loaded, and I knew I was going to regret it. But thank you, Kicker Car.
Team.
Oh man, I don't
what does
even
that
know.
mean? What does that mean?
So, like how they have YouTube memberships, like it's like Patreon but on YouTube.
Oh,
what they can do
I didn't
is
know
during
that. That's amazing.
Yeah, they can do it on your channel too, literally in the comment section, live streams. They can gift it to other people for 1 month. It's like a free trial, and it gives the person a Green Team membership to be a YouTube Green Team member for a month.
I didn't realize I got a friggin' massive ass pimp right here in the corner of my face.
It's all right. It's why I'm on this camera. My nose is so red, from blowing it in the past few days. It's terrible.
That way.
Yeah, there you go. You got to get the good side. Got to get it. No, you look great, and you did great tonight. We still got a few minutes to go. We can go. There's no cap on this, but the giveaway is closed. I will do that eventually here. Let me think. I wanted to ask you a few other things. Okay. ... Got most of them there. Shoot. Yeah, I covered all my checklists. We did really good tonight with just talking about things and asking questions. And
man.
Yeah, you
run
guys
a tight ship.
I try, man. I try. Like you said, we do too much. We do too much. Thank you, Mr. Duffy. Been watching EXO since 2008. That's actually this guy right here. I'm going to pull that up.
I should have freaking said it. When you said Duffy earlier on, I was going to interject and say, hey, Seth? Because it rang a bell. But
Yeah.
I didn't want to be wrong because I didn't want to be wrong, so I didn't speak up. But I should have because I was right. Seth Duffy.
Seth
His name
Duffy.
rings a bell.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy, and honestly, he's helped me out a lot with just car audio in general, watching how he does stuff, and he's been doing stuff forever. You know, he's 44, he's getting up there, and you know, respect your elders. We love you, Seth. But yeah, there's a video there with you and Seth getting a demo. I wanted to show that, but there was a few other.
Yep.
I don't know if I can make it any bigger than that on the fly, but yeah, that's.
I know we're on Facebook, and that was the inverted. Are those DS18s?
Yeah, he's got two DS18 15s, and when you heard it, it was only on 1 amp. He actually had that at one point on 2 amps, so it was like another like dB or 2 louder. Thing was stupid windy, but you know, awesome build nonetheless. Let me pull up here.
Yeah, I always recognize familiar face.
I wanted to ask you about this build right here. See if it's. I'm pressing too many buttons, but you know what? We had a super chat anyway from Bad
I just heard
Customs.
it. Yeah, I was.
Bass, I love you. I know we had him on here, Jose from Bass, I love you, the last guest we had on here. So talk about two kingpins of the early YouTube days of car audio. You know, because shoot, you were downloading his music on LimeWire or YouTube, one of the two.
I know, right? Holy smoke, that ain't that the truth? And we met at Spring Break Nationals 2010, I think, or one of those years. He's a cool guy.
Oh, absolutely, man. I was like, wait, you've never been on a live stream or a podcast? Holy crap, this is going to be crazy. Yeah, he tunes in, and I appreciate him for that. He's an awesome guy. But thank you, Bad Customs. Show some pics, Andy. Show some pics. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, we got to keep this PG. This is Kicking with Andy here. But this build right here, I wanted to ask you about it. I forget his name. Mario Brothers. I forget his exact
I think his
name.
name's Chris.
Chris, that's it. I think it's Chris. That sounds right. And that build, what did you think of that? Because that has a Solo X18 in the back of that thing.
I'll tell you what, I love seeing stuff like this, where someone literally thinks outside the box, where the port is coming in like a bat out of hell. Like, I think we referenced the Mario pipe going down into another world. It's so... I just love the ingenuity. I think at this point we both stick our heads in together and share a nice little bass head moment, fucking hanging out together.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's what it's all about. Look at that port. What the hell is that? That is amazing. It's just so cool.
I bet you it kind of worked, too. You know what I mean? It's just physics sometimes.
He's loving it. He was loving life. I was loving life. That's all that matters.
Absolutely, man. I had to get your opinion on that build, because that was like one of the first kicker builds I seen on your channel, and I know you got a lot of kicker builds on your channel, like especially way back and walking into Best Buy, you know, just looking at the kicker display, and in 2020, whatever, 2024, they do still have kicker displays out, at least in Monroeville, PA. They have one. My buddy Keenan Zabransky, he makes sure that their display is still kicking it with, actual working displays. But it's crazy how that's changed, because I know whenever I started watching you, that was whenever I started to get into car audio, man. You know what I mean? I think you're only a year or two older than me. And like 2008, 2009, I'm going to Best Buy. I'm pressing all the buttons.
Oh, yeah.
Those were the good old days.
Those Alpine, the MRPs were huge. The PDXs were huge. The Pioneer X something, like you could go in there and you really thought at least I thought I was looking at like the most high end stuff out there available.
Yep.
Of course, you can really get into this game and get even higher end, but still to this day, it's really nice to see how, like what you said, your buddy is still making sure those displays are working.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy. It's changed a lot. I actually picked up one of their older displays that was a closing Best Buy. I have it in my garage. I haven't set it up like how they have it, but it's like the one with all the 6x9s, it curves and all that. It's in the garage. I did have it kind of working at one point, but you know how it is. You start pulling speakers out, you need them for something else, and then it just kind of sits. But yeah, crazy times of where we came, and now everything's online. Brick and mortars are hurting. Amazon's taken over.
Did you guys have like tweeters or Circuit Cities?
Yeah, I had Circuit City, but whenever I got into car audio, I didn't even know that they had it then there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I heard, I just never walked in there at that point. And by the time I walked into Circuit City, all the stuff was gone. It was Best Buy, Radio Shack. They didn't really sell subwoofers and stuff, but they had their things. But
dude, when Circuit City went out, I picked up like a bunch of Tsunami accessories, like ground loop isolators, harnesses, probably a bunch of head unit kits that were literally for vehicles that I didn't own, but I was just buying a bunch of crap. It was a huge bin, so I grabbed a whole bunch of it, and I still have some in the garage.
Hey, you never know when you might need it. Like it's there, and that's crazy. I know it's
like the
nuts.
GL100s, the Tsunami GL100s. I got like 10 of those.
Jeez. Tsunami, that brings me back. That's some old stuff. What was the capacitor that you had with those Alpines that you had with the CVRs back in the day?
That was the Power Acoustic, man. That was the big the 5 farad Power Acoustic with the built-in voltmeter that was literally so inaccurate it made you feel like you had the best alternator in the world because everybody had 15 volts.
Yeah, it didn't budge from it, Yeah, you're good.
Right, I know.
Your voltage.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh man, capacitors. I mean, I did it. I feel like a lot of people fall into it, just like power ratings of like RMS, and we could say Rockville all we want. That was some crazy stuff that went down, and we're gonna skim right over that one. But either way, which is how marketing is. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Garrick. Much love and respect, appreciation for EXO Contralto.
Hey, Garrick, what's up, man? He's been around for quite some time. He's a SBN OG from. I'd say I think I met him back in 2011. I think.
Wow.
I think around then.
Yeah, because he's got the pro build and just and his YouTube channel PSE Mentalist, and man, just an awesome guy. Appreciate all you guys. I see the hearts flowing up on the screen. Yeah, this stream is kind of crazy, EXO. Like it started with just turning on one camera, and then it turned into like just switchers and just everything.
Oh wow, look at you.
It's crazy. Well, Ernie, I blame Ernie too. Ernie showed me what that switcher was, and then I just started. Okay, I need this, I need that, and it's a Titanic. I call it a Titanic.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here. Friggin' time to shell out the big bucks for all the friggin'. What is it? The PTZs and the fucking whatever. Oh, yep. Sorry, I did it again.
No, you're good. Well, I need a bleep button.
That's only 3. So I'm doing all right, even though I'm tried to clean up lately.
You're good. Guys at Kicker are probably sleeping anyway right now. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's all right. Watch first 20 minutes. Yeah, we're good. We get it.
Yeah.
These guys are nuts. And speaking of nuts, I love just the energy that you have and just had since day one.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's not crack cocaine and it's not methamphetamines. It's just who I am. Believe it or not, check the teeth. I got decent teeth. It's just who I am. Dang it! Even though it stinks sometimes, I get such weird comments about my energy.
Yeah, I hear that too sometimes with just anybody saying stuff, and it's like it's just that's our personality. We're a little high strung, and probably
maybe
got a little bit ADD.
Strung,
yeah. Can't sit still. Yeah, we're good. Everything's fine. Let's see, where am I at? Okay, that comment's still staying there for some reason. Let me clear that one. All right. While I'm doing the giveaway so we can get that started. Because Kicker does the same giveaway they have on Unmasked on this show, which is crazy. Plus, on this show and this show only, for the past year, we give out a 50% off discount code, one-time use, but anything at kicker.com.
Wow.
That's crazy. Literally buy one, get one free. It's just... it can be...
Great.
Yeah,
hey,
it can be bad.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah. I can't believe that they do it, because that's a hit. But still, man, they appreciate you guys watching this channel. They appreciate you guys just supporting the Kicker brand and just being in the car audio community. Because if it wasn't for you guys, they wouldn't be who they are today. And it's just great what they do. All right, let me see. Let me pull this up here.
Thanks, AZ Custom.
Oh, yes.
I couldn't read it fully. It's small, but I saw it was a compliment. I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. He chills with us on the Discord, too. Every Friday, you got to randomly join my Discord after one of my lives just to scare everybody. We hang out there every Friday for, an hour or two. Just kick back, relax, and, maybe PG-17 or something like that. But, yeah, I met him in person, which was cool because I actually got to see his face. He tunes into the show and like a lot of these guys, and you get to hear their stories, and it's a good place to be. I'll send you the link.
I've been really liking Bambi lately. Bambi.
Oh yeah, the actual bass track. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Oh my dear, my dear, my dear. And then it drops wicked. There's 3 different versions. I play the lowest one, and it goes into the 20s. I know that, but I just like how there's a singing voice in it. It's really relaxing. You can just cruise down the road and listen to the Bambi song.
I know I've heard it before, but now I'm going to get into Kayla's car, because usually that's my daily, because Cookie Monster kind of just sits, and we got the quad box, but I like a little bit of wasted information, so, rebase for life. I'll have to try that song in her car. And, I have a hard time picking my favorite bass song. I mean, whenever it just comes to trying something out, it's always I'm literally gonna put on that song
just
or
to test it out, see if it does the whole bass line. Yeah.
Yep. It gives you a clear indication of what it's gonna do, what it's not gonna do, kind of thing, and it's always on every platform. Hey,
Jason, at least you didn't say carousel.
Oh God, dum 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 dum. God. My buddy Andrew Smith, he's going to kill me for this, but that was the only song he would play. But it sounded good, but right. Oh, man. He got the 140s, not the 60s. It's all right. How is the sister doing? We haven't seen her in forever. How is she doing, EXO?
She's great. She has been at her house for 2 years. She's married now. She's got her own place. 2-story, and she just finished staining her deck yesterday. She's doing really, really good. She got a great job. Yeah, we talk frequently, and she's still a huge part of my life. We just don't do the YouTube thing. Being in Tennessee and in Maine, we're just have a
right, because that's where you were from originally, Maine, and that's pretty far up there. That's pretty cool. That's pretty much Canada.
It really is. Yeah, I lived right near the border, only about an hour and a piece from the border. So.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Well, it's probably a little bit warmer where you're at now. You probably like it a little bit more.
It's really conducive for car audio, and even if it's just sunny and cold, I'll deal with it. But when you're dealing with 100 inches of snowfall,
right, you just can't even do anything at that point.
No, it gets to be played out. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, if you can read the comments, I know John's going to be throwing them up. I'm just putting everything together on this end. I'm the worst multitasker. The worst. Yeah.
So, do you remember that old? Yes, I do. I do remember that old video, and I can't believe I did that. Holy crap, dude! My frontal lobe wasn't fully developed yet. I'm telling you, it wasn't. I can't believe I did that.
Oh, you talking about? Well, it wasn't this video. This was a good video here, where you were. Let me play it here.
Oh wait, did I misunderstand that last guy's question? I wonder if I misunderstood it. I like that one.
Yeah, this was literally the first one that I've
Yeah,
seen.
see, this goes back. This was like my third video I ever made. So I've always been really trying to make funny, high quality, like bass videos. You know what I mean?
It looks like a movie. I love it.
Yeah. So like, even though like I have longer format, I've always strived to be something like a good editor or a good movie maker or something. I don't know what it was, but you could tell I was doing something. There it is.
Yeah. The Jensen.
And here I am doing absolute damage.
Would you look at that thing? Just look at it.
Yeah, what a great. I still love. I love bass, man. I really do love what I do. I feel so blessed and fortunate to be in a position where I can wake up and keep doing what I've always loved.
Right. Oh no, we can see your true colors, man. And same here. You know, and a lot of these guys that are tuned in that are watching, they're very similar too. You know, like they are just
thanks
dedicated
again for
to
everyone still here. Make sure if anyone new watching to slap a subscribe button on there. I see 8546, so let's see if we can get that up to even
85.
50.
Holy moly. I mean, this is pretty much the highest attendance that I think I've had on YouTube. It's pretty close. I think I've barely touched 80 before, but having EXO on here definitely buffed the numbers. Thanks for joining tonight, man.
No, thank you. Yeah, I feel very, very honored. There she is, the old videos. See, I even had little outros, man. I was trying my hardest.
No, I wanted to show that, and this build here too. I'm trying not to forget anything because there's so much with what you did here. This build right here, because you swapped. I'll mute that because you swapped that out from the CVRs into the Orions, and
yes, sir.
That's crazy because like I feel like they're pretty much the same, but did you notice a big difference with the swapping of them?
Yeah, I believe it or not, I did notice a difference. Side by side, they were the HPs for their time were actually a really, really good sub. And I tried to go find them on Marketplace, eBay. Guess how much they're going for from the United Kingdom and Australia?
How much?
$300 to get one. So I was like, I can't relive that memory. But the HPs, man, I love those HPs.
They look like efficient drivers, and they got some throw to them. Like they look great on the video
that's
too.
Really what helped me. I think going from them to that was the amount of stroke. They had a lot more movement behind them.
Now they look good. I mean, they remind me kind of like the duels that I used to have, but they look like they move a lot further than the ones I had would move.
Yeah, if you can get over that polypropylene kind of look, you know, and it had the rubber. It was also rubber instead of foam surround, but I loved them. I would love to have one again.
That's awesome. My buddy Seth, that's what he really used to run forever until recently with the DS18s. Seth Duffy, he ran Orion. When I met him, he had just big Orion builds, 415 flat wall, and then into the Golf, 215s, and just doing like 54s on 215s. Like, you know, impressive scores in that car. And I don't know, they kind of changed their beat, and then he went to DS18, and he hasn't looked back, so... Yeah, it is what it is. And it's hard to relive every memory, you know.
I hear you. Right.
All right, let's see. Got one more here. Okay, just it's hard with this Rigomatic 3000. Sometimes it likes to glitch, but you know,
Rigomatic 3000.
Yeah, they make me do it every time. I'm like, listen, like we can't just rig it every time, guys. Can't. All
What's
right.
the lowest of the lows that you play on your knee? Oh, okay, I can see that one. The lowest I play right now is I went down to 21. But the thing is, I accidentally went to 18 with the door shut, and like it can do it, but I'm gonna break something immediately. And I was like, I'm not gonna risk it. So I'm not. I haven't dropped it down into the teens, like above half volume. But at 21, I was doing some hellacious stuff over on the passenger.
You know, I feel like below 20 is literally wasted information, but it is awesome, but it's brutal. whenever you heard Cookie Monster, I was giving you that demo, it was like 13, 16, 19, 22 hertz, and it was killing my spiders, killing my leads.
Killing the freaking panels,
the car. I didn't even get to that part. Yeah, the trunk. You were like, holy crap, that trunk is just beating itself to death. And I switched gears, and it's all right now.
More power to anyone who can reproduce with pressure at those lows. More power to anyone. I love that. I love experiencing it. It's great. But for what I'm going for in this, I'm probably not going to try to tailor it much lower than what I'm at right now, to be honest. I'm going to probably... I'm not going to mess around that department.
No, because, whenever you're playing that low, it's like, then you get stuck to the point where you have to play music that's that low, you're kind of stuck
on how low you go. You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Yep.
Because think of it, an octave between the next octave up from 15 is 30. The next octave up from 20 is 40. So you get 20 notches between versus 15 notches between, or I should say, individual frequency between octaves. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And then 10 to 20, let's say people who play 10 to 20, now you're only 10 frequencies away from the next octave up. So if you're tuning into the dirt, you better believe that hump's going to show you, and you're gonna have a roll off like you wouldn't believe if you really start tuning down that low.
Bingo. I know whenever mine wasn't that low. I mean, 13 hertz is low, and it did it effectively. Really, it was like 16 hertz. But I could only play that, and then for some reason there was a null between 24 to like 29, and then it picked right back up and just around the tuning, of like the enclosure, because it was just that big of a box. It was weird. But I know what Joel Sparky, his build is literally beating the crap out of itself. He's just repairing it every time.
Lappy, you see the earlobes. You see, it is so fucking amazing. Oh, I did again. That is so amazing. So amazing to see that amount of flesh, just people's faces getting torn apart. I personally love it. But I wonder how much of my peak, I wonder how much of my peak at 40 would I lose if I went and started tailoring my ports down that low. I wonder. I'd be curious to know.
I know with fourth orders and sixth order band passes, there's a lot of variables. It's not just what the tuning is and all the other stuff that comes with it.
Distance alone can be a huge factor, which I have, which stinks. Mine goes back so far that distance plays a larger part in than I would like, especially since I went back an extra row. I was gonna do 9. I really was gonna do 9.
God. More, yes. I mean, you got it to the point where you got so many you can play. If it wasn't for like the electrical, you could play for days. You're not going to have loading issues. You're not going to have suspension, power handling issues.
I thought I was going to have at least a little bit of loading disparity, a little bit. But dude, even with the most finicky of CCD chips on your camera, everything is perfectly in line. Everything is perfect. No matter if I hold my camera this way, if it's interlaced or progressive, everything's in phase on, it's great.
Wow. And that's the thing too, because when you have them at an angle or just all those different amplifiers to get that phase correctly so you don't have loading issues is deal breaker.
I know some people are chasing issues because of that one phenomena. So I'm glad I was able to avoid it, at least at this power level. Who knows when the 8Ks go in? That may be another issue.
Wait, you said 8Ks go in? So you are upgrading the power on it?
Oh, eventually. The amp wrap's tapped for 8Ks, so they're ready for it.
Oh, gotcha. And those are only the 3Ks that are in there, correct?
6Ks.
6K, so another 2,000. I mean, I feel like it's not going to be a huge gain, but maybe just a little bit extra oomph that you wanted.
But I'm going to go from the equivalent of dual 2s to the equivalent of dual 1s, so I'm going to be at half ohm.
Oh, so you're really going to double your power, though.
I'm going to try my best.
Yeah, he's gonna full send it, full tilt boogie.
Full tilt boogie.
Had to. Can't. Oh, Todd, I love you, man. I built my wall with my Ultimo by watching and learning EXO's wall build with the blue Saturn. Thank you, EXO. You are the man. And Todd Wolf, he's a special friend of mine.
Heck yeah, that wall was rowdy.
Absolutely. Little blue. Now, I wanted to ask you before I keep typing all these names in for the winners tonight. The black and yellow build, where you're sitting in there, you had them inverted the other ways. What vehicle was it? For some reason, I can't remember what vehicle that was in.
I believe his name's Steven Chapman. I think his name is Steven Chapman, and he owns that. Are you talking about the one where
not the kickers, the one where it was your build. It was your build. It was all yellow in the background.
Oh, Frankenstein?
That one. Yes, Frankenstein. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry.
What was that in?
What
was the vehicle? What type of vehicle was that in?
Oh, that was a Ford Expedition, a 98.
Ford Expedition. Ooh.
Yep.
Nice.
98, 618s, it was the 6 Soundstream TX 2600s to begin with, and then I upgraded from those to the Crescendo 3500s, and then from the 3500s to the 5500s.
You know, I think I remember running into Crescendo because you had it, and then I started to go into the scene of, like, you know, bass shows around me local, and people had. I'm like, oh, I know that amp, you know?
Yep.
That's crazy. And what did you do with that build? What happened to that one? You just kind of sold it, traded it, did something with it?
When I started gutting it, I gutted it in 2017 to replace, to use it. I was actually going to use it again for this build, the Behemoth build.
Yeah.
But I started to, once I saw the floor removed and I was reminded, are you familiar with Expeditions, how they have that huge step down of the floor?
In the middle of the back, right? Some cars are just kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started to realize that it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. So I said, you know what? It's got 260,000 miles on it, 250,000 miles on it. I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to start fresh. And it was the best decision ever. So I got rid of it, you know, and I'm glad I got the bass fan. I really love it.
You know, it's sad to see any base vehicle go. My Volvo, I'm actually getting back. It was down for like 4 years. I didn't think I was going to get it back, and I just randomly found an engine last year because Volvo 960 wagons, 96s are pretty hard to find, and I found one, so I was like, well, I'll throw it in and get it going again because I, just wanted to use that car for the YouTube testing side of things because Kayla's car, my wife, I already have a system in there and I don't want it to be like all thrown apart. You know what I mean? Like not have a system one day.
You don't got to tell me twice.
Yeah, exactly. And so now it's like just dedicated for SPL testing because, people like that kind of stuff. They like to see the numbers go up, the amp dynos, the SPL, and that's kind of what I do with the SPL lab. Whenever I do a video on like a subwoofer, it's like, okay, well, let's do some testing and, just have some fun and play around with speakers. But at the same time, it's so hard to compare speakers, subwoofers. It's so hard. It's like really impossible.
You hit the nail on the head there again because of the variables, because even in the 1-to-1 apples to apples, it may not be perfect because of something that was easily overlooked, and then you'll have people let you know, like, hey, by the way, and then you're like, oh crap, you know what I mean? There's always that one little variable that makes it kind of not an apples to apples test.
No, and it's that's why I was thinking of doing some kind of comparison where what someone might do, where I'm going to have a kicker comp loaded enclosure from Kicker, but then I'm going to throw in different kickers and see the difference. If I just upgrade the woofer, you know what I mean? Because I feel like someone would do that because it's so hard. You would have to build a different box for every single one, and it's going to have a different outcome.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was insinuating. That's exactly right. Like the amount of variables just adds up with the box alone. The cabin, the placement, the angle, the dangle, it all.
I forgot about the dangle. You're right. I can't. Exodition. I like it. He changed the name model.
Yeah, we took some things off and put some Walmart letters in there.
For some reason, that one is just blank in my memory. I know I've seen it, but that's funny. That's funny. All right, we got one more name to type in. I'm terrible at multitasking. EXO, usually Kicker, they have like, Colin or Ernie or J-Dub in the background, and then John or Aaron, they're talking and keeping the party going while they got doing this. I got to do it all by myself, but it's fun. It is fun.
Yeah, you're doing great, man. Thanks again. I hope that I hope I see we're at 8546. All right, we're still there. Hopefully we can get to even her out to 8550 by the end of it.
8550. Okay. Rigomatic 3000 is complete. I'm just going to put this in because that'll work. He'll know who he is. It is rigged on this show, just a little bit. And with some of these winners tonight, you're going to be saying that I rigged it. Which I don't know if I did. I don't know. I mean, you can see some of my screen, not all of it, but
Oh, that's what you were talking about? I thought it was like a computer. You were being funny.
Yeah, I was being funny. Yeah.
Oh, the Rigomatic 3000. I thought it was like some piece of equipment that you had on your desktop.
Yeah, I do have it connected to the Canuter valve on the CPU cooler, but that Ernie taught me that one. What kind of music does EXO listen to when he just wants to jam out?
Oh, man. Death metal.
Death metal. I listen to everything too, including death metal and some kind of screamo stuff here and there. It's got to be some screamo, not too screamo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm all about like Nile, Lorna Shore, Behemoth, Cannibal Corpse, Dying Fetus. Terrible names.
Dying Fetus. You lost me on that one. I can't.
Yeah, believe me, I know. I lose. Terrible names, but I'm just there for like the double pedal bass and the guitar riffs.
And you got to have a nice system to listen to that where it's got the accurate bass. I mean, I feel like, with death metal, rock, you almost need to have a sealed setup where it's just tight, accurate bass.
Yep, I have port plugs that I have for my cabinet. I got perfect port plugs.
I know. I like how you upgraded those to, what is it? They're 10s, but they got more travel. They're more for bass.
Yeah.
And you gained a little bit.
Longer throw, a solid. I wish I mentioned they're solid aluminum cones and caps. I totally forgot to mention that, but it's just a really good driver. The Dayton, the reference series, it's a very good home audio. Because, dude, believe it or not, they can be in down less than a cube and still have an F3 lower than 30 hertz. Seriously.
Wow. And that's the thing where SQ that's what I hear when I hear SQ. It'll have a low FS in a smaller box. Yeah. It's just, that's what you kind of want to go for. So you don't have to build as big, and then you won't lose those transients of that rock bass that you're looking for, and still be able to play a little bit below 40 hertz, Absolutely. Yep. I know I just picked up that Q class, the brand new one, and I've never had the Q classes. I've designed boxes for them. I've listened to them. I just never personally had one, and I'm just looking at this thing. I'm like, this is an SQ driver. Holy crap, kicker, because it's got some throw to it. And I feel it's going to probably do around the same thing as like maybe a W6, W7 in comparison, because I know a lot of people hold those up to the heavens saying that they're, SQ God level stuff.
Does the Q series have an extended backplate?
I don't know 100%. I know it's got more excursion on this one, but still, it's with the forced air cooling they added recently, past few years and stuff, because it seems like they did change a few things on top of just the color. But right, with their pull piece and just how it's all one piece and it's like forged together, it helps with heat dissipation. But I don't know if it's extended or anything different on that one.
Yeah, huge. I mean, think of it. Like, I was looking at, I was opening I had a Philly cheesesteak and I reheated it in the toaster oven. And the toaster oven's so hot, but the handle to open the door is so cool because there's thermocoupling in between it. So just imagine if that actually had the ability to conduct heat, how hot that would be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it makes a huge sense to make something like that one piece as far as a subwoofer goes. so it has the ability to absorb and to shed all of the heat from valuable areas.
Yep, and people nowadays more than ever, they abuse their stuff. They play it way louder than it's supposed to, and they're just trying to future-proof the product, have less returns, and then also give you something that just deals with the heat better, so you can play at that higher level longer. That's the name of the game. What we're all trying to get. Cameron Cole with a $10 super chat again. Andy, any need to know advice for my 4L7X15 build, wall up or no wall? Man, I myself have had so many people say, why didn't you wall it? Why don't you wall it? Why don't you wall it? And I feel like if you wall it, it's not that you're cheating, but even if you do that, doesn't mean it's going to sound great. I feel like you'll learn a lot with the no wall builds rather than just strictly just going with the wall with your first build. Because then you kind of learn, well, this works with this. I'm actually gaining some because I'm using the cabin of the car to output more bass. What's your choice? I mean, with 415s, I feel like either one could work. You got enough surface area to make a wall. What do you think, EXO?
I think you kind of touched on something that I was going to really agree on, is that when you're forced into a position like a no wall, it makes you figure out every little last thing before the next step. So when you get to the next step, you're like locked and loaded for everything that you need if you ever want to go bigger. But your no wall with 415s, that could be way more than you could ever need. You know what I mean? And you could be extremely happy able to achieve from start to finish with a no wall. I think instead of going straight to the wall. That's why I started with all no wall builds.
Right, and I feel like whenever you do a wall, you got to do it right, because there's so many people that I've seen when I used to run Team SPL Loud, which I'm trying to do next year, just like Mecca, an SPL organization. They would just throw a box in there. Thanks. And they'd throw a box in there, and they wouldn't seal it off properly, and they were louder when they popped the trunk, and it's a wall because it isn't sealed off, and it's like you got to do these extra things.
I've seen that exact. I saw it was like a 148, open the hatch, 152.
Bingo. Just what the heck?
In a wall.
Yeah. Yep. Meanwhile, it's not supposed to do that, and yep, it's okay. Just drive down the street, hun. All the groceries are falling out. It's all right. It's fine. I'm louder.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think you can benefit from a nice little transition like that to kind of build it up.
Right. Either way will work, but yeah, that wall, that's the second step, man. El Fuego, question, Pop-Tarts or bacon for breakfast? I'm more of a bacon guy, because Kayla, she be cooking, bro. And we have bacon and eggs and, dippy eggs at least 2-3 times a week. And that's the main reason why I married her. You know what I mean? She keeps my belly full. What are you, EXO? Pop-Tarts or bacon?
Dude, I wake up at 2 in the morning and make bacon. Woo! Like, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and crave bacon and make some. I have a problem with bacon. I have a problem. Like, you would think
problem.
My scrawny little body, but I can pack that stuff down. I can eat a half a pound of bacon for myself.
Woo! It's bad. It's bad. It's like I gotta limit myself. John says, EXO, if you could have any one superpower, what would it be? That's a tough one.
A superpower.
Anything.
To have, to fly. That's so cliche, but yeah. I have dreams about flying, and just, I would love to fly home, fly to Vegas, fly back.
Fly to SEMA, fly to Slamology, fly to Ruckus and Chill. Man, it'd be so much easier. Yeah. When I was a kid, I always wish I had lightning coming out of my finger. You know what I mean? And now I almost do, if I just fuse the wrong way or something like that. But no, that's awesome. Thank you, John, for your question there. I know I was going to ask you, what do you like on your pizza? I know we're getting a little sidetracked here, but bacon, pizza, flying, why not?
I'm a pepperoni guy, straight up.
Pepperoni, I will eat pepperoni. I like pepperoni, but if I have a choice and it's like cheese, pepperoni, I'm going with straight basic cheese, man. I feel like it's just, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Dude, I want like 3 inches of cheese, but I want so much pepperoni that you can't even see it anymore.
You can't even see the cheese. I can't. I mean, at that point, you might as well go the full way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's do these winners, and then we'll wrap it up, and then we'll do the outro, and then we do a caboose thing. These people will be fighting over this caboose ticket, and then we'll let you go, and let's do it. Third place, we got 4 prizes tonight, guys. Of course, that you know that they're tuned in for every show here. You already know what the deal is here. But the third place is the TW1 headphones. Those are the wireless earbuds. And Kicker Swag Pack, t-shirt, koozies, key, lanyards, the whole 9. Third place goes to Roger L. from Freeport, Florida. Congratulations. You will like those TW1s. I just picked up the TW2s, and I do like them more than the TW1s because they just got the rubber insert. I mean, you just feel more bass, you know, rather than no rubber insert, you know. Take that either way you want. And second place goes to, well, we got to figure out what they're winning. The EB400s, another wireless earbuds, but these are the weather resistance ones. Goes to Shane, Stately, and Benjamin. I'm messing that up. Somewhere in Minnesota. Congratulations, Shane. I know you. Thanks for watching, and congratulations, man. First place, this isn't the 50% off discount code. This is the Bullfrog 100. Do you have a Bullfrog 100 yet, EXO?
I do not.
You need one. They're awesome. Maybe we'll have to call Ernie. Ernie, you listening? We EXO needs a Bullfrog. Bullfrog 100 and Kicker Swag Pack. They're just a little wireless boombox, kind of like a JBL Flip 5, but it's Kicker, so it's better. Waterproof, the whole 9. First place goes to Todd Wolf. It's rigged. It is rigged. In Homer City, PA. Congratulations, Todd. You're going to love that Bullfrog. And we got one more prize. Don't leave. Don't leave yet. We got one more prize. 50% off discount code for anything at kicker.com. Thank you guys for watching. I know a lot of you guys might dip after this, but thank you for watching. Thank you, EXO, for being here. And the 50% off discount code goes to Cracker0974. Thank you, Cracker, for tuning in. I will be sending you an email. Just make sure you verify it, and I will send you your discount code, and you're going to love it, man. Anything at kicker.com, 50% off. Trust me, man, even like the t-shirts. It's cheaper to buy t-shirts at Kicker with that code than going to Walmart and getting a plain one. You might as well stock up in your laundry drawer or something like that, you know? All right, let me check one more thing here. All right, cool, we're good there. Let me check the comments. Dubby, here we go, going sideways already. Tell me more about the rubber inserts. It's for the TW2s, okay? That's what it's for. Man, this was fun tonight, man, and thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, EXO, for being here, man. We'll have to have you on again. I mean, shoot, I know you're a busy guy, same here, but you know, this was fun. This was awesome. And I know, a lot of guys are like, man, you got to get EXO on. This has been like, you know, I've been doing this for almost 3 years, the live stream for a while. And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. And we finally did it. So
we made it happen. Heck yeah.
Yes. Now, thank you again. And, I'm not going to keep you guys here forever. And yeah, we did it. Let's end the show, do the outro, and I will see you guys at the caboose. EXO, any last words?
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out Andy on YouTube and hit that button.
Hit the like. Thank you, EXO. Appreciate you guys for watching. And as always, stay living loud. We got to do it. Come on, there we go.
Hey, what's going on? Cumulus EXO coming at you.
Wow. So do I click?
So now we do the outro, EXO. This is how this works. And these guys just start commenting. And they fight over the caboose. You'll see.
They fight over what?
It's called the caboose.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Am I still online?
Yeah, you're still on.
Oh, nice.
Like, I hear you in the background. What you see on the left, is live. Love you, Troy. Appreciate you guys.
What's going on, guys? EXO coming at you and there's a Q&A.
What's going on YouTube? Listen, EXO coming at you this morning with some various questions I've been getting about the build.
These 1218s, take a look at that, take a look at that. 4-pin relay right in between to do the job.
Just gotta look at it.
I got some good bass ideas for you. Now focus. You remember that old keyboard you used to have?
Thank you, Baba, for gifting 10 green team members. And yeah, you just gotta look at it, man. Sometimes that's all you can do. And look at all these subs. I forgot to ask about that bed there, that bed of woofers. Is that like a water bed? Love you guys. Watch EXO tap out instead of John.
Oh, that's only 1 second.
That's awesome. I love it.
Ah, there he is.
Livin Loud Swag.
Thank you, William. Thank you, everyone.
That's why I chose Contralto. So that's quite literally what it means. It means basin everywhere. Bass everywhere.
You see that little train right there, EXO? Do you see that on Cornut? Do you see the train there? That is the OG caboose, Mr. Cornut here. He'd always steal the caboose ticket at the end of the show, every show. Thank you so much, Cornut. Appreciate all you guys here. And all they do is pretty much fight for the last ticket of the live. Jason Grant, thank you for donating a $5 super chat for the caboose. Love you guys. BT, everybody, BT's stealing it. He's like, I got it. And then Eric comes in with a 99-cent super chat. No, and then John's coming in. John's cheating. Look at all the snipers. See, they're sniping last second. Look at all the snipers. Oh, man, you know what? And then we got a 4-second delay, but I think that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. EXO, this was a blast. Love you, man.
See you guys. Thank you so much, everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're still live in 5.